All right, we got another build here for you. This one's gonna house a single JL Audio 13W1 V2, I believe is what this one is. Going in a newer model Chevrolet Impala. We're gonna start with some 3/4 inch MDF, everything pre-cut and ready. 1 5/8" coarse wood screws, sliding adjustable clamps, and we got the screws spaced accordingly, anywhere between 2 to 4 inches. Is more than adequate enough for it. I can't stress enough, clean cuts and adjustable clamps. Get that bond, get that tightness before you add your screws to it. Just ensures a good solid bond, a good hold of that glue. And it's about the same. I mean, I repeat myself. It kind of gets old, but I mean, it's just the same process. Start with the bottom, the back, the left, the right. I'm gonna go ahead and put the front piece on. Showing you the screw placement there. It's not perfect, but it's there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and assemble this L-style shaped port outside of the box. It makes it a lot easier doing it this way versus trying to put it in place, line everything up. It's more of a hassle doing it that way. I'm gonna get ready to do the 45 to maintain the port width throughout. That's what I'm measuring here for, to show you that. Maintain that 2 inches all the way throughout the port, so you don't get no chuffing or back pressure or nothing like that. You got good even flow of your air when that sub is moving. Go ahead and add the 45 in place on this one while I had it out. Get everything marked, pre-drilled, where I can get my holes lined up to make sure my screws don't miss when I get to attaching this. I'm taping it off, and you can see there's a little lip. I'm adding some glue, I think, on there too. But there's a little lip that I'll show. I think it's on this one, unless I did it on Instagram only. I always come back about a 1/16 of an inch so I can get that overhang spray. So when I get to put these pieces together, you don't have that gap of unpainted area to worry about. I do that on the port piece and also do it on the box piece. And I just use standard flat black. It hides a lot of imperfections that you may have versus gloss. All right, I'm getting creative on that clamp, making sure I get that even pull. Port is in place. Added that other 45. Give a different angle, different look. Other 45 is put in place, just again to help with the airflow. And here I'm gonna do what I call a sleeper flush mount, where it's not on the outside, so you don't mess up or you don't change the integrity of the outside diameter of the box. So I put them on the inside. Double checking my OD, my ID, making sure everything's gonna fit and line up before I get to cutting. As you can see, that piece up there missing. Don't let it scare you. I'll come back to this later on, and you'll forget about it. Trust me. Go ahead and work the flush trim, or the subwoofer mounting hole. Sorry about that. This is because I'm doing it reversed on this one. Screw was in there to stop it from spinning when I did that final pass. That's what that was pointing to you on there for. Went overkill on the clamps. Had a little extra time. I said, why not? Let that sit up. Added some screws. The glue's gonna do the majority of the work. That screw is just gonna help ensure that allows the glue to sit up. Here I'm showing you my router's wore out, and that's where you got them divots in there. As I'm lowering it, it was moving. That's what I was just showing you on that. I'm not hiding nothing here. I see it. If I see it, trust me, you're gonna see it. Getting ready for some bracing. Getting my gapping. Making sure everything was true. Clamps to hold it into place when I add the screws. Just trying to ensure I keep that 2 inch throughout. Go ahead and add some bracing. You know me, I love that picture frame. Ties in all 4 walls with one piece. Lightweight, doesn't take up a lot of space. Just making sure everything is true before I get to securing this one in place. That's the look. I like it. Looks good. So that's that one piece, ties all 4 walls in. I'm gonna get ready to mask off and paint the top piece before I get it put in place. And I don't have to tape it off and mask it off like that, but it just looks better when you're looking on the inside of somebody's box. Cut down on that overspray. Terminal cup. These terminal cups that I bought come with gaskets. That's the first time. Hopefully they'll keep selling these. All my areas drawn out. Make sure my screws will not miss. Put some tape just as it squishes down, glue run off, doesn't hit the already painted areas. That's just preventative tape is all that is. I'll peel it off later. Sealed it on up. So it just prevents that overspray. You see what I'm talking about? You still get some, but now I'm gonna go ahead and work on this 1/4-inch hardboard for this front baffle. I always cut it just a little bit bigger and I'll hit it with my flush trim bit. Just showing you the overhang. Clamped into place. Sometimes I'll put 1 or 2 screws just to secure that it doesn't slip on me. I want to rough out the subwoofer opening. Hit that with the flush trim bit. Same thing on the port. Now I can go ahead and put it on my router table, put that rabbit bit on there and put that edge on there to allow me to tuck the fabric later on the bottom side. Some scrap pieces for a template. Size it up, know what type of logo I'm going to put off in here, the size that it needs to be. Use some double-sided tape, press it into place, route it out, and did the same thing with it. Put that rabbit edge on the back side. Use this plexi, acrylic. Figure out the area where it's going to lay out. Put the fabric in place. Not double face, used spray adhesive, 2-point contact for it. Trimmed off all the excess. I'll go ahead and touch up this port area. Anything that I missed, need to sand or anything. Get it all clean and crisp. I'll go ahead and trim this down to the size it needs to be where it'll fit in there right. I'll go ahead and add some glue on that front baffle. Secured it into place. Some 1-inch screws, if I'm not mistaken, just to hold it. Now here I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? I'm just as lost. Hang on, what am I doing? Oh, put the rabbit. Okay, yes, right, that's right. Cutting the grooves in here so I can tuck the fabric. My bad, I got lost for a second. Stop that bit from hitting. I had to back the screws out just to be safe so I don't mess up that bit as it passes by. I dropped it in about 1/4 inch deep, about the depth that I set it at. Pre-drilling my holes, always at a slight tilt inward. Give you a little bit more real estate when you mount your screws. Seen that piece still up there, didn't you? I know you saw it, I did. But I'll come back to it. Now I can go ahead and get ready to start wrapping it. This one was standard black on this one. We want to do something simple and clean, match the subwoofer, kind of tie everything together. Just that black and gray theme. 2-part contacts, play both surfaces, wait maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes. Sit down and get you a drink, come on back, start applying it. This fabric doesn't have a backing on it, so it stretches like crazy without ripping. Trimmed everything in, tucked it, still leaving that outer protective coating on. Took the back one off. The outside is the one I'll remove it at the very end before I do the decal, just to prevent any scratching. Newspaper covering up for overspray, because this glue will get everywhere. I'm just showing you, got it tucked in the groove, and I'm just running my blade straight down. You can see right here, got a little fast paste for you. Save a little time. Just got my little tucking tool and finish off my little edges, little strays. That good clean look. Won't be seen, it's on the left and right, but somebody might take it out and move it around. See the detail. Added some staples on the bottom just to prevent that glue or the fabric from lifting if the box is moving around out of vehicle to vehicle. You know how you get that lift, that'll prevent that. Go ahead and upgrade the speaker terminal cup. We won't have any problems with that. Using 12 gauge OFC wire. Get it screwed into place. Now get ready for this subwoofer. It's a throwback. He had this one for a while. They had 3, and the SUV ended up selling 2 and kept the 1. So we'll keep him going. I forgot how old or how long he's had this, but it's a very good subwoofer. Good clean sound. Wired it in and secured it into place. Now go ahead and get ready for this decal. Take this protective coating off. Trim back any stragglers as well, just tucked in right behind that black fabric. He wanted to do something different on his than do the branding. He wanted his name on it. So he actually wanted initials. He wanted the CE on it. But I went ahead and took it a little further and got his name put on there. He wasn't aware of that until I started posting it on Instagram. He started seeing it. Started getting hype, asking me, when's it going to be ready? When's it going to be ready? I always try to do that for the customers, give them a little bit more than what they pay for. Leave a little bit, keep them in suspense a little bit, That's where it gets fun. All right, we're just leveling everything out, double checking with my tape. I always do it in 2-part sections. Makes it a lot easier so you're not fighting the whole piece. Rub it on and paste. Pull that protective coating off, and there you go. Very clean, very classy looking. It actually matches the theme of his car because his car is black and gray. Yeah, everything kind of tied together. But he's not really into heavy bass. He's just something when he hit the highway, he likes to cruise, get it, get his sounds jumping for him. That's why we build for all types. Now we're gonna go ahead and click over to the install. Get ready for this. Get him hooked up. This one with a standard, I think SoundCube 850.1. We'll run it at 2 ohm because it was a single 4 ohm. No, we're running at 4 ohm. If I'm not mistaken, I gotta check that out again. Anyway, removing the pop pieces off to gain access to the rear deck lid. Usually we're gonna splice into the rear speaker with the LOC. Just showing the process. Yep, I think we went with the driver's side. We're gonna run the bass knob. That's what I'm taking all the panels off, running down the driver's side here. Run the bass knob, and we're going to do the power wire because we got it tied to the front. His battery's not in the back. I forgot it's up front. I like to use factory holes. You can find plugs. You'll find factory locations, but I like to run mine under the car, back into the frame, and back into the car if I can. And that's what I'm doing here. Just finding these factory locations, running the wire, and then I'll fill them. Get grommets. Here I had to take the inner fender well out to run that wire behind it, just so I wasn't fighting myself there. Got me a piece of wire, run it on like a tracer wire, ran it on through and pulled the wire on through. Loomed everything up, what was seen. Put the loom on it, everything tucked, zip tied out of the way. You forget it was even there. That was a factory grommet I drilled out and put a slit so I could pop it right back into place. That's coming into the car, if I'm not mistaken there. Yeah, coming into the car on that grommet. I'll go ahead and start the location for the bass knob. Keep it more accessible. I don't like to put them down there where your knees are. This is a big fella, he's over 6'4", so I try to put them where they're not in the way. So I went right up under the console, under his armrest. There's a little cubby hole right there where your hand hangs naturally right there, and it touches the bass knob. So I went with that spot on this one. Everything was pretty straightforward on popping the panels loose. Had to get both sides loose to get that out. Drilled me a little access hole for the bass knob wire, ran it through. And I'm drilling it inside those panel pieces in the console. Vacuum all that stuff out. And I ran it straight across to the console right there. And pulled everything to the back. I always put tape on the end of your bass knobs because you'll tear that tab off when you're trying to pull it or push it through something. Moving the back side, trying to find my ground. Good location. And then if you don't have any ground wire color coded, just get you some split loom. Get you some power wire, purple, red, green, yellow, and just loom it up black. Ain't nobody gonna know unless you tell them. I think I'm making amp racks. Spacers, that's it, yeah, for the box. Just to help with the breathing and circulation. Don't ever screw it directly to your box, especially if you got fabric. You want that amp to breathe. And where you got full circulation, top and bottom. Want that LC1. I like this one. I think I might start using these. Real simple, easy to use, not a lot of buttons, and it's clean. I like it. I'm just finishing off that ground, so I was telling you about. Some electrical tape on the end, hit it with that split loom. Boom, got you a ground. Routed the wire, secured them into place with some stay nail brackets. Now I'm going to tap in. As here I was showing you, they show that a lot of factory speakers don't show that. They won't have the plus and minus. I was showing you that. De-energizing the power wire. I was doing with that light. There's the view of the bass knob. Got all my wires routed, clicked into place. Got to come back up and loom that later. There's your front view. Had some sag back here when I took it loose. I'm trying to help it out a little bit, close that gap up. Just got me some polyfill. Rolled up some, packed it on the front side. Kind of wedged because it was like a seesaw. It was teetering. There was no other snaps in the middle part where it needed to be, so I had to get creative with that and close that gap on up. I got to modify the battery box. That's what I had to do. The cover, I thought that was it, but there was a cover that I had sitting on the shelf. I forgot I had to take that little notch out right there to allow for that power wire. That's why I hadn't finished off up under the hood just yet. Then popped it into place, loomed everything in, and got him going that way. Where it looks factory.